Welcome back to another episode of the Chats with Clark podcast. I'm your host, Joe Clark, and here at Chats with Clark, we don't do poppy intros. We get straight to the point, and the point of today's episode 57, is AJ Zubek, one of the fan favorite DJs in Cleveland, and definitely a great individual. AJ, thanks so much for being here.
Man, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, I appreciate it.
You.
First question right off the bat, what is the best thing, AJ, that there is to know about you?
That's a loaded question.
Best
thing to know about me, I love music, and I'm a creative person. I think forget the music. I'm a creative person.
You're a creative person.
Yeah.
So you've channeled your creativity into that music realm. What initially got you into striving to be a DJ?
I fell in love with electronic music back in probably 6th or 7th grade. Skrillex, Bass Nectar, Flux Pavilion, Adventure Club, like that kind of like dubstep, bass heavy music. And then from that I started listening to more like housey, progressive sounding music. And then end of high school, like my senior year, I bought myself a little DJ controller. And it probably took me like a good year and a half to really start messing with it. I feel like with anything, especially nowadays with learning a new piece of technology or a new program, at least for me, it's kind of overwhelming.
Sure.
So it could take me a little bit to get the ball rolling with it. But yeah, I started taking it seriously in 2021. At the time, I was working a promotion job, promoting the one nightclub here in downtown Cleveland. And then from there, I picked up a little Wednesday, which is like their industry night over there at Barley House. I know you're familiar. And yeah, it just kind of took off from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What do you think sets you apart? So once you got that initial in, what set you apart to be able to keep developing and keep growing, expanding, and spreading your wings?
I think I'm very coachable and like an easy person to work with. Like if you can communicate to me what the needs are of the job or of, in the context of DJing, what the needs are of the party or of the night at the nightclub, I'm able to deliver that, but I'm not a mind reader, so as long as the communication's there and you can tell me what you need, I can pretty much get it done most of the time.
So do you have the license to kind of play are they hiring you or are they hiring you to play what they want?
I would say it's a little bit of both. I mean, being like an open format club DJ, your job is to play to the crowd, not like get up there and just play what you want to play. But with that being said, it's like a tightrope you got to walk, because if you only play what the crowd wants, you won't have an identity as a DJ. You'll just be another top 40 DJ, So I would say it's a mixture of both, and that's become super apparent if you just go to a nightclub, say on a Friday night and the following night on Saturday. You see the two different headlining and or opening DJs, and you'll be able to get a feel of like what that DJ's identity is.
100%.
And I think that difference is crucial and very mandatory for a nightclub. Like if you had the same person DJing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night, like it would get stale.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's what's so interesting is that it has to be something that separates you, because there are the songs that everyone wants to hear. You have the songs that are going to get the crowd moving. But it's even like radio stations, right? Like there's tons of country, tons of pop, tons of hip hop. Like there's tons of stations for each genre anyway, and they all have a different feel.
And I think the fun part about DJing is you kind of have to like get the crowd on your side and get them to trust you. And then once you get to that point, the term I use is having the crowd in the palm of your hands. Once you have that going for you on any given night, then you can kind of start to really play what you want to be playing and what you want to hear on the speakers. But in order for the crowd to be receptive to that, you kind of have to get them to trust you first. So you have to play what they know.
Sure.
And then you can start branching off and playing the more obscure underground music.
Love that. Absolutely. AJ, what is the feeling like when you look out and you see a crowd that's into it? Because I think in every field, there's that awesome notion of when the recipient of whatever you're doing, whether you're selling something, whether it's a service, and they're all happy with it, right? So like for you, it's like a service. I guess you're DJing. So that receiving end of seeing a crowd that's into it, what's that like for you?
It feels pretty damn good. I guess it lets you know that you're doing your job well. And I think most DJs would agree with me on this, but I like feed off of that energy. And it's like the more receptive the crowd becomes of what I'm doing, the better I'm able to do my job, if that makes sense. Because when I can tell the crowd is like really working with me, they trust what I'm doing, I'm able to really get in my flow state.
Okay.
Really get in the pocket and just like not mindlessly DJ, but really just like lock in and like I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. When you're in that flow state, there's thought involved, but not a lot of thought. You're just
Right.
You're just doing it.
Yeah, when things jive, I mean,
Exactly.
I think a sports is a great analogy. Like when you watch like those old Cavs or those old Warriors teams that were facing off, you could tell when they were in their zone. I mean, like when Curry got cooking or when Kyrie got in his bag, it's like you're saying. I mean, it's not effortless; it's beautifully and brilliantly done. But it's like, oh, they're on autopilot. It's
autopilot.
Yeah.
That's the best way to put it. You get into that flow state, that autopilot zone, and But yeah, that's what the crowd's able to help me lock in with.
Do you have any stories of moments that particularly stand out to you when the crowd was really into it?
Yeah, I mean, there's a few moments, I guess. There's been a few really cool moments this summer. I think one that really sticks out to me, it was probably like 2 or 3 years ago on a brown Sunday.
Which always is
Was
crazy.
it a brown Sunday? Or maybe it was just a random Sunday. No, it was definitely a brown Sunday.
Had to be a brown Sunday.
Yeah, it was definitely. We came off a big win. I don't remember exactly what song I had played. Yes, sir, I don't got a more specific moment for you there. But, yeah, DJing on a Sunday after a Browns win here in Cleveland, you'll get some good moments.
It gets it done.
You'll get some good moments.
Now, what about on the flip side, AJ? What's it like when the crowd's just not feeling it? How do you flip the switch on that?
That could be a tough one. That's when you start getting a little sweaty, you know?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, am I doing a bad job? That's when, like I said earlier, okay, let me preface this with sometimes the crowd in the room just won't be, like, it's not the crowd that's going to dance. Sometimes, like, the longer you DJ, I think you'll be able to pick up on this. But, yeah, sometimes, like, the people that are out there just, they don't dance. Yeah.
Totally.
Chances are if the club's sold out and it's shoulder to shoulder, that's never going to be the case. But, you know, if it's just starting to fill up, you're the opening DJ. Yeah, like I said earlier, you got to pull back and try to get people to trust you. So you got to play the music that they know. Or not, they don't even have to know it very well, but just familiar music and kind of you got to get the head nods before you can get the people with their hands up, right? Like no one's just going 0 to 100, so you got to work them up, kind of thing.
Similarly, kind of taking you back a little bit. So you were building yourself up. You got the Wednesday night gigs, and eventually started expanding. What was the moment when you realized you could turn it from I'm DJing once a week at Wednesdays to I can DJ full time?
I think probably like 1.5 years into me working here in Cleveland, the bookings really started to come in. I guess I can't really pinpoint an exact moment where I had that realization. I feel like it was just kind of just gradual, and then after the fact, I was like, oh, like maybe this can be viable, you know. And granted, I do other things for income as well, with my entertainment company and whatnot. But yeah, when I started DJing, I mean, I was working not odd end jobs, but I was working in snow removal. That was my main thing when I started DJing, and landscaping work. But yeah, there wasn't really a moment where I was just like, I think I could do this full time.
Yeah.
Not that I could pinpoint.
Did you know that you wanted to do something like that? Or did it just kind of keep happening? Yeah,
I really didn't.
Yeah.
Like it, I mean, obviously I had those thoughts, like I would like to be successful in this. And like, I'm still just getting my feet wet, realistically speaking, in the industry, and in this whole scene. But I really didn't. It kind of just happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ, kind of switching up a little bit, you mentioned some of your other endeavors. You're part of the music group Good Taste. Run us through that a little bit. What is Good Taste?
Okay. So we throw parties just here around Cleveland. Our slogan is Dance Parties for You. Pretty much the reason it was started was because I feel like there was and still is a lack of good dance parties here in Cleveland. Everything nowadays, like, and this is just the way things are, but with VIP, you know, nightclubs being so popular, Sometimes that can detract from people dancing. You know, it's kind of just people hanging out and not like,
Yeah.
you know, actually having a good time grooving. So started it for that reason. Yeah, we throw parties. I wouldn't necessarily call them pop-ups, but yeah, we throw dance parties. We play electronic music specifically, and we're kind of just I'm trying to be a pioneer in the Cleveland scene for electronic music.
I love that.
Because I feel like it's just a missing link.
Because you guys have done it in some cool spots. I mean, you guys did a coffee shop earlier this year and that kind of thing, so it kind of changes.
The coffee shop wasn't actually our thing.
Okay.
But yeah, we have done some really awesome stuff. We like to do stuff on rooftops. We like to do house parties, and we have some really cool stuff coming up towards the end of the year here.
That's awesome. How did you build your team for that?
Well, my buddy Braden, he handles a lot of the promotion stuff, and it's really just him and I. He helps with the promotional end of things, and then my brother as well. He helps with capturing everything. So him and I, will draft up ideas and brainstorm for promotional campaigns, marketing stuff, and he'll kind of refine. My brother Owen will kind of refine the ideas for me, since he's the man that knows how to operate the camera.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty much just us.
Who are some of your biggest inspirations in the industry? Did you have DJs that, I know you mentioned who you liked originally that got into you liking the music, but just from the craft standpoint? Or not, I guess. From
the craft standpoint, I guess I'll just say it as my favorite DJs on a technical side would be Miles Medina and A-Track. I feel like my answer for that changes kind of frequently, but that's who I'm really rocking with at the moment. And then more so on the production side, I feel like the term DJ is used kind of not loosely, but the people playing the big festival stages, they're mainly known for their production, right, and the music that they make. So in terms of those people, my main initial inspirations, Martin Garrix was probably the biggest one. It's super feel good, progressive sounding, festival music, the kind of stuff that was super big in 2013 to 2016,
totally.
Calvin Harris, Avicii sounding music.
That was so big. I think that was the biggest jump for that, because I think it bridged the gap between the Skrillex and the super heavy dubstep.
It made it more palatable for the average person. That's when you started to hear that stuff on the radio.
It was massive. Yeah, that was the pop that we grew up on.
Was crushing it back then.
Right.
And it's coming back into the forefront now.
Yeah, it seems like it's kind of almost shifting back to that sound a little bit too.
Oh, right? Absolutely. It absolutely is.
I mean, the Chainsmokers just did some new music. I know Kygo has some new music coming out. All that sounds
John Summit,
that.
I think he's one of the main people paving the way for that. There's been a lot of his music's on the radio, I believe.
Yeah.
And it's just very feel good, but still upbeat, and you can party to it.
Something with that chorus, right? A lot of them have that female pop singer chorus that just
hit,
right? Yeah.
Super spacey, I love it. Goosebumps. Yeah.
Who's the favorite person that you've gotten to work with throughout your endeavors so far? Because you've gotten to collaborate with a lot of cool DJs, a lot of cool musicians.
That is a really tough question. Earlier this summer, I had the opportunity to open for Knock 2 at Forward. I think that was pretty cool. I wouldn't say I worked with him. I just shared the stage with him. That was really cool. And I really like the stuff that MGK has been doing for the city. So the MGK Day stuff.
Yeah,
I had the opportunity to play on that stage earlier this summer. Super grateful for that. It's a tough question. If I think of someone,
circle us back.
Yeah, we'll circle back.
Yeah, quick note on the MGK thing. I love that he just kind of keeps putting money into the city too. I mean, the guy just keeps developing things here, and I love it.
How can you hate the guy? I mean, he's just he puts on for the city, and I personally love Cleveland. There are a lot of people that live here in Cleveland hate it for whatever reason, but yeah, no, I love Cleveland, and I love people that put on for it. So
I'm with you on that.
Nothing but respect.
Yeah, and I love that you're a pioneer and trying to do your own thing and make some mountains move.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. So I feel like part of it, part of the outside of the music, a big part of it is the aesthetic, right? So Bunt was just here recently, right? And he's always rocking the tank top. Everyone has their look, and it's such a pivotal part of the brand. How did you decide what your brand image is?
I guess it all comes back to comfort. If you know me, I like baggy clothing. Mm-hmm. Everything is 2 sizes too big on me. That all started when I was in high school, and in college. I was super into bodybuilding, and a lot of bodybuilders wore oversized clothing, so I was like, I'm gonna start doing that. It was just, I don't know if that's embarrassing to say or not.
That's hysterical. I love it. I think it's a great story.
But yeah, it started in high school, and then I just never stopped since. I just like baggy clothing. So it all comes down to comfort too. Like I just hate tight clothing. I hate when a shirt's riding up under my arm. Like
all of it. Yeah,
I don't enjoy it.
So Adam Sandler is your inspiration. It's like,
exactly. That's what I should have said. Not the bodybuilding.
The bodybuilding thing's awesome too. That's such a good story.
Adam Sandler sounds better, but
he's always got like the baggy pants and the shirts that are 14 sizes too big.
The drip.
So funny.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's such a big part of it, right? I mean, you have to have the consistency in the look, and it's because you can get known for that. So just like you can be known for your sound, you can get known for the aesthetic, right? Like Aoki with the cake. I mean, there's just certain things that are so.
Yeah, and I love clothing. Like I'm a sucker for real small details on stuff, like stuff that people probably don't notice, but like I notice it, and something about that like scratches the right part of my brain when I put it on. So, love clothing. Especially baggy clothing.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
All right. So as you shifting the conversation a little bit, being in the industry, I think you're in a position that people want something from you, right? Like I think people look at you like when you're on a stage, they think that you have influence, and you do because there's an audience that's kind of adhering to whatever you're doing. But how do you deal with people who are always trying to grab from you, always trying to take from you?
That's such a good question. Wow. Yeah, that's a tough one because, and I deal with that a lot actually. Like, is that person trying to take advantage of me, or are they trying to help me and give me a leg up and an opportunity? And I think you just gotta view every situation at surface level and think about what the kind of person that you're dealing with, what kind of person they are, what your relationship with them has been like. You know what I'm saying? If they've done you wrong in the past and taken advantage of you in the past, keep that in mind. But this is funny. I just heard a quote. The quote, I said I rediscovered the video. He says, never attribute to malice what you can attribute to incompetence, I think is what it is. So it's like, in layman's terms, never, I don't know, I think it's a bad thing to assume that people are always out to get you and always trying to take advantage of you. So I take the stance of, 9 times out of 10, I'm like, that person's just trying to help me. And if I end up getting taken advantage of, oh well, it's a learning experience. But I think it's a bad thing to lead life thinking people hate you or are trying to like fuck you over, or take advantage of you because you'll treat people differently if that's the notion you have in your mind all the time.
Totally, you're always looking over your shoulder.
Exactly. You're always paranoid, and then you don't trust nobody, and that's not a good way to. That's not conducive to success.
Yeah, 100%. Now, kind of on the flip side, to play devil's advocate, I think it's important too, though, when you are, like if you are diving into partnerships and that sort of thing, to be weary on the premise, the reputation for you, AJ, from as far as I've always heard, what preceded is like, that's like the best, he's the best guy, but he's so nice, everyone likes working with you, all those sorts of things. So you can't cloud that with, right, like you can muddy those waters easily by the wrong.
It's tough,
and that's tough.
Bro. It really is difficult, but that's what it's like, being your own boss,
100%.
I hate saying that, but that's one of the cons that comes with doing your own thing, and having to negotiate your own deals and write your own contracts and send them to clients,
Absolutely.
That's just what comes with it.
When you're creating, AJ, because you mentioned right in the beginning that you're creative, how do you know when you're at the final moment of something, or not the final moment, but the final version of something, whether it's a playlist, whether it's a mix?
I'm like the worst person to ask this question to, because I'm like a perfectionist, and I'm the type of person that will like sit there and fuss over the littlest things. So say, for example, I'm editing a piece of content, like a video for TikTok or YouTube, whatever, Instagram. I'll be fussing over the littlest tiny things. I'm sure everyone that edits videos and everyone that makes music, when they're working on a song, they fuss over this little tiny stuff that not a soul, like not even like the experts in the field are gonna notice that little thing you're messing with. But how do I know when something's when I'm proud of what it is?
Yeah.
Like I have a standard that I try holding myself to with all the stuff that I post, and that might work against me, especially nowadays with how social media is, everyone's talking about volume, like you need to post more and more and more and more. I would love to post every single day on every platform, but I don't yet have the capabilities of producing that much volume and still maintaining my standard.
Yeah.
So yeah, when I'm proud of what it is, what it sounds like, or what it looks like, and mainly I go to my brother for feedback on everything,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's music, how a flyer looks that I'm designing, or how a video looks that I'm editing. He's my number one guy to get feedback.
He has that artistic eye. He's so good.
Yeah, he's a full-time video and photo guy. So.
Yeah, so right here in Cleveland, just a little plug for Owen.
Shout out Owen Zubek.
Yeah. I think there's a certain nature of that within every creative. I've never talked to a creative that said like that they weren't particular, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, almost like if you're hasty with it, then how much can you say that you are creative? Because
exactly. Yeah, I've never met a creative that wasn't like that. Like my buddy Max Peralta, he actually illustrated my logo for me, my Just AJ logo. I've actually asked him about that before, the exact same question. Like, how do you know when something's done? He's like AJ, he's a muralist and a painter. He's like, AJ, I could go down and bristle count till I'm using a 1 bristle brush if I wanted to.
Yeah.
But he's like, if I do that, I'm starting to move in the other direction than in the positive direction, So it's like at some point you just got to hang it up on the next one. Put it out there. Make sure you're proud of it. Don't, like you said, hastily put shit out there, but make sure you're proud of it at your current stage in your career with what your current standards are. And you do that for long enough, your videos from a year ago will look like crap compared to your new ones. That's because your standards evolve,
Totally.
So yeah, once you're proud of it.
And there's so many theories with that. I love the Mr. Beast approach, which is what you're taking too, where it's like he's not putting out that. I mean, he's putting out regularly, but not every day, right? The videos that he's doing, and they're so in depth and they're so creative and at a standard that he upholds time and time again, which is what makes him so wildly successful.
And I think there's a lot to be said about that. Yeah. That's the type of creative work that I like. When it's more thought out and there's a story to it, or a plot, whatever.
Ultimately, it's your portfolio too. So
that's the number one way I look at it. I want someone to look at my pages online and be like, that all looks very good in quality.
Yeah.
The images and the videos are crisp. They're well edited. They're cool looking.
Totally.
And yeah.
I remember earlier this summer you took a photo of you like jumping into a pool, and it was so cool to me because it was like you were floating just right above the pool before you were about to splash in there. I'm like, that's sick.
Yeah, that was my brother Owen and I. We came together on that one, and we only had one take. I had one change of clothes on me, so I'm like, I was like, if I jump in the pool, that is the take. So if you see me start, I'll stop you a couple seconds before if this ain't it. If I stuttered or something in my dialogue, but
so good.
We got one go.
That's awesome.
And it worked out perfect. That's like the best. I think that's the best piece of content my brother and I have ever made so far.
That's wild. Yeah. More to come, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So AJ, there's a closing litany that I run through for each episode. And the first question is, actually it's more so, it's a statement and a question. My contention is that every person who lives with gratitude at the forefront of their life has a better life than those who do not. I think they're happier, they're more fulfilled, and they experience more in their life than those, again, who do not. With that being said, what role does gratitude play in your life?
I love that. Like you said, people with gratitude are oftentimes a lot happier. I think to live life with gratitude means looking at life through that glass half full lens, and living in the present moment. And I don't know if being a pessimist is the right word, but yeah, the whole glass half full thing. You have to look at life through that lens in order to live a life with grace. And I think, like looking at life through that lens will make you a happier person because you're not always like, oh, why me? Why me? Why me? Mm-hmm. It's like, no, there's good things going for you.
Absolutely.
And you just have to think about what the good things are. You know what I'm saying? And not think about what the bad things are that are happening to you in life. So, I think gratitude is what keeps me happy. Seriously.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, sometimes when you're in the rat race here, you can succumb to some of those negative thoughts, and it's like you gotta have the wherewithal to recognize it.
All the time.
Yeah.
Like all the time, and it beats me up some days. Some days it's better than others, but it's gotta be grateful. You have to.
On a different lens, do you have any regrets in your life? And if so, what have they taught you?
Zero.
Why is that?
I think every little turn you take in life creates the product that you are in the present moment. And I mean, I've made some colossal mistakes in my life, but I wouldn't if I could go back, I wouldn't change it. In the moment, I'd be like, damn, I wish I wasn't in this situation. But no, zero regrets for anything.
I think it's always important to have something to look forward to, AJ. And so my question is, what do you have on your calendar that you're looking forward to?
Tomorrow night, we're collabing. Good Taste is collabing with Sunsets. They are another, I guess, event collective, you could say, here in the city. They throw really dope sunset parties, also themed with electronic music, you know?
Yeah.
So we are throwing a rooftop party on West 25th tomorrow at Market Garden. They have a rooftop called The Canopy. They very rarely open it up, especially for an event we're about to throw there tomorrow.
Yeah, I've never been up there. I mean,
it's going to be awesome.
That's so great.
For sure, one of the coolest parties this summer, I bet.
So, audience, when you hear this, look back. This will have been a couple days ago. So go check out the Good Taste, the AJ Instagram, and
I'm not sure when this is going up, but I got 3 events scheduled for October as well with Good Taste. October 11th, we're collabing with a fraternity down in Kent to throw a little day party. That'll be sweet. And then the other 2 events, I can't really speak on them, but they're not announced yet.
Sure.
I will be announcing them.
This year? They're coming out this year?
They're in October, yeah.
Okay, they're all
end of October.
Cool. So everyone just pay attention for October.
Yeah, the one in Kent is October 11th. And then the other 2 are going to be towards the end of the month.
Excellent.
Collabing with a big record label here in the city.
It's going to be so great.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
I think when you have something to look forward to, it's exciting, right? I think it adds such a value to life. It's Jesse Itzler is a big proponent of that. He says when you can look back on a year and you have certain things that make it that year, it's like, oh, this is the year that I did X. This is the year that I started Good Taste. This is the year that I got my first DJ set. There's certain moments that really make each year pivotal then. And then you can look back at your life and you're like, oh my gosh, I have this. And
it's all about building momentum, you know, like you said, it's good to look forward to something because it's exciting. It's like you have, I'll speak just within the context of being an event curator. You got that one event coming up and you're excited for it. And then that one event will turn into 2 events. And then I don't know exactly where I'm going with this, but the excitement builds and builds and builds. And that's what keeps me doing it, you know? 'Cause it's like the harder you work, and the more work you put in behind the scenes to create the cool opportunities and cool moments for yourself, the more motivated you'll be to create more of them, you know? So there was a point where it was 1 Good Taste event a month. Now it's going to be 3 next month, you know?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And that excitement is what builds the momentum, I think.
The more you do something, the better you get at it too. I mean, it's just so true.
Like we were just talking about with your standard evolves and gets better and better over time. And for a while my standard was 1 event a month. But I'm like, it's not enough. So my standard evolved. Now we do 2 a month. You know, for this summer, we're pretty much doing 2 every month.
That's so awesome.
And now I'm trying to up the ante a little bit. Obviously, I'm not going to, go too crazy, 10 events a month, throwing everything down people's throats. But
yeah, there's, again, same thing, just like with the content, right? There's that happy medium of being too much with it. And then keeping, when things are rare, they have value, right?
Yeah. But it's like, what is too much, right? Where's the line?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know.
You'll find out because you'll know. When you hit that top, it's like, all right, we're going to take it back down a little bit.
It starts working against you, I think. I'll know.
What's awesome is you can tangibly feel the energy there, and you can also count the numbers. So it's not you'll have direct correlation between those. Yeah. AJ, the final question I have is pretty simple. What piece of advice would you give to either a specific section of the audience or to the audience abroad?
That's a good question. I wouldn't say it's a simple question. What's the piece of advice you'd give to people?
Yeah, maybe I should say it's a straightforward question.
If what you're doing doesn't scare you, that means you're not being brave. So take pride in being a brave person and jump at the stuff that scares you.
So if what you're doing scares you, you should jump at it. Okay.
Yeah, and take pride in being a brave person because that'll make it easier to deal with, how do I word this? Just consider yourself a brave person, and then the stuff that is scary will become less scary to you.
What was initially scary that you jumped at, and how did that shift?
Man, playing your first DJ gig in front of people at a nightclub, showing up shaking and stuff, all mad nervous, just because you've never done it before. Like I said, I take pride in being a brave person, and I've learned to embrace the stuff that scares me. That's what I mean by taking pride in being brave.
Yeah.
Is embracing the scary stuff because you're a brave person.
It's almost like an old Batman analogy, right? I mean, that was the whole thing. Like, he was afraid of bats, had that whole trauma from his childhood, and just watching his parents get killed, and then flips that on its head and uses that as his strength and his motivation. And he becomes the Batman, and he kind of hones in all of that into just productivity.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
AJ, anything else you want to toss out there to our audience before we wrap up episode 57?
Let your passions lead you in life. That's all I got.
Great. That's great.
That's all I got. Thanks so much for having me, brother.
Thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, I will have all of AJ and Good Taste socials down in the comments or in the description below, depending on where you're seeing us, whether on YouTube or if you're listening on any podcast provider. If you have not hit the subscribe button, I still don't know what you're waiting for. We're putting out top tier content for you, top tier conversations with some great individuals like AJ Zubek, who was the guest of episode 57 of Chats with Clark. Thanks so much for tuning in. AJ, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. That was awesome.
It was so awesome.